Speaker of the House Mike Johnson was asked about the potential for a vote on this war powers resolution. That there are two different ones, one going through the Senate, one going through the House, where they are trying to limit the president's ability to get us involved in any situation in Iran. Now, Donald Trump has already authorized the one mission into Iran, but they want to prevent any further damage. And there was even talk about trying to pass this ahead of him doing anything when he initially said it was going to be 2 weeks away before he made a decision, and then he went ahead and did it anyway. Well, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson was asked about that, and he says he doesn't think there's any reason to bring it up. He thinks any sort of a war powers resolution itself would be unconstitutional, and that the current War Powers Act that they are operating under, that was passed in 1973, might be unconstitutional, and that basically the president should have the ability to do whatever he wants with the military as commander-in-chief. Well, that's an interesting idea, except, Mike Johnson, you talk about Article 2 of the Constitution, but I believe in Article 1 it talks about going to war and says Congress has the power to declare war. So if you're giving him carte blanche to do whatever he wants with the military, are you giving up your authority to declare war? Now, under the War Powers Act of 1973, it says within 48 hours of using military troops overseas in any sort of hostile environment, Congress must be notified. And then also limits the president to 60 days of active use without congressional approval, with another 30 days for withdrawal purposes. That's it. Otherwise, he needs a declaration or approval from Congress for the use of force. Now, Mike Johnson wants you to believe that that might be unconstitutional. Well, the way I would understand it then is that that would mean we go back to Congress must declare any action, and then he doesn't get to use them at all without congressional approval. Sounds pretty good to me. That would actually be what the people fighting for the War Powers Resolution are actually trying to get. But this is what Mike Johnson does. They are still kowtowing to Donald Trump in some ways, trying to please him, make him happy, and they don't want to actually do their job. They want to cede as much power to the president as they possibly can. But the whole point of having things separated like this is so that the power is not put within one person. That way there's checks and balances. And this, with the War Powers Resolution, was a check on the presidential power while still granting him some authority to do certain things outside the scope of having to get full authorization from Congress. So we'll see if it ultimately gets a vote, if he ends up getting pressured. Right now, it is bipartisan in both chambers, and we'll see where it ultimately ends up at.